Hi guys, how you doing? I'm gonna do a reading for you regarding the person that's on your mind right now, because I just had a sense that somebody is thinking really heavily about someone that they are romantically interested in, and or yeah, romantically interested in, and oftentimes I know because I honestly feel like I guess being a reader and people constantly asking about relationship stuff and relationship stuff, and I've gotten the insight that oftentimes just in general, just being a person in life, that we as people develop relationships in our heads as opposed to what's actually happening between two people, because so much of what's going on between two people is unspoken or most of the time unknown. And that's why people consistently always seek advice from other people, friends, and, tarot readings and, you know, online gurus, relationship gurus, is because so much is unspoken between two people in their relationship. And I do what I'll do, so I'm going to do it. But as a general rule, if you have to ask, then the answer is no, or it's non-existent. It's in your head. And that could be the reality of the situation, or it could be the perception of the situation. But if you're in a relationship or have a connection with someone and they're not letting you know that, or you have these questions about the relationship that you can't speak to that person and they can't volunteer the information, my general rule is to take it as a no, or it's in my head, because if you cared enough, you would let me know. Or if the person who had the question cared enough, they would ask the question. So that's what it is. That's what this reading is going to be about. So it's going to be about the unspoken things that you need to know about this relationship to kind of help you not gaslight yourself when it comes to a connection or a relationship with someone. Because a lot of times you're thinking that somebody's thinking a thing or feeling a thing and they're not feeling that thing, or vice versa. And it's just always two boats in the night missing each other, right? Because two people are never on the same page in relationships, it seems like. So I'm going to it's not a specific question here. It's not a specific question. So I'm just going to get the vibe of the relationship, and you can see if in the midst of the vibe of the relationship, if any of the questions that you have about this relationship get answered. Okay, so that's basically how this is going to go. So you do have a connection with a person. So if your question is if there is actually a connection between me and a person, okay, am I feeling this? Do they feel how I feel? Is this real? Is it all in my head? Are they attracted to me the way that I'm attracted to them? Am I on the same page with this person? If you're in a relationship with someone, am I on the same page in this relationship as the other person? The answer is yes. You have a connection with this person. So whatever the nature or the status or the level, I think that's what, if it's just like you're attracted to somebody and you're wondering if they're attracted to you, yes. If you are wondering if you're in a relationship, like you're in a relationship with somebody and you're wondering, do they still feel the same way about me as I feel about them? Are they still yes, you're making it up. Like that person isn't even wondering if the connection or relationship is going good. They're not thinking that it's not, because they don't have an issue. It's in your head. So you're the crazy one in this situation. Okay? You're the crazy one. The connection is solid, is good. Now, what I will say about the other person that you're thinking of, or whoever is the feminine energy. So there is a divine feminine energy in the situation who, so specifically towards that person. The reason why this connection is going well, and the reason why you need to refrain from falling into old bad patterns and habits based on old karmic relationships, is you've done the work. This is somebody who's reparenting themselves to become the divine feminine, right? And you're probably wondering, what does that mean? So to become the divine feminine is somebody who has developed boundaries, self-love, self-respect, understanding of their needs, other people's needs, the space to nurture their own needs, as well as the space to allow someone into their world and nurture those person's needs the way that they need to be nurtured, to have enough abundance within themselves to create abundance for other people by creating healthy boundaries, and to know when to reject connections and when to accept connections. So there's a lot of healthy qualities that go into becoming divine masculine or divine feminine. It's just not about meeting your romantic counterpart. That's not what being a divine masculine or divine feminine is about. The reason that divine masculines attract divine feminines is because of the elevation that you are in. It's like being someone who, I guess the best way I can describe it is like if you're a divine feminine and you are, I don't know which, it's hard to, one of the reasons why I think it's hard to explain like spiritual enlightenment to people, you know, in the mundane everyday world, we call it being woke, right? And there's this whole campaign against being woke, like, you know, people who are, it's hard to explain because it always comes off a little bit condescending, like I'm up here and you're down there and blah, blah, blah. And that's not really what it's about, because everybody should be elevated on an elevated plane of consciousness and existence. But then again, people have a different idea of what an elevated consciousness is. Some people think it's, you know, believing in conspiracy theories and thinking that the new world order is coming, and they think that's being elevated consciousness. And some people think it's, you know, accepting humanity for what it is, and not being bigoted and not being racist, not being separatist, and you know, and believing in education and science and all of these things, right? So people have different frameworks of what being elevated consciousness is. So it just really gets into a really condescending tone when you start talking about, you know, but it's unfortunate because there are very, you know, distinct qualities behind being a divine masculine, being a divine feminine when we talk about spiritually. And when you're at that elevated state in life where you have learned your lessons and you're healthy, right? You have healthy mindset, healthy emotions, healthy attitudes, healthy relationships, healthy self-worth, healthy self-image, all of those healthy things. It's really difficult to deal with people in an intimate space who are not healthy, who are unhealed, who still have karmic lessons, is you don't have the patience for it anymore. And so the reason that people associate divine masculine and divine feminine energies in a romantic context is because they tend to attract each other, because they're attracted to each other's elevation. And if you, whatever your sexuality is, if you attract that, you're attracted to that, you're going to be attracted to it. And that's when you come into union. But being a divine masculine, divine feminine is not about a romantic sexual union. It's not in a spiritual sense. So you have become that. You reparented yourself. You are that. You don't need to fall back into those old negative habits of always being paranoid and worried and seeing red flags that don't exist, because that's paranoia, and attributing, you know, negative patterns from past people, past relationships, past unhealthy, unhealed versions of yourself to new, healthy, healed connections. Okay. Don't fall into that trap. And that's what these cards are telling you. Do not fall into that trap. And the next card I picked out is commitment. So you're on the same page with this person. Don't go back to being a distorted feminine with old dating. I told you this is a karmic. The distorted feminine is someone who is guarded and isn't open and doesn't have that self-love and don't know boundaries. And so they become paranoid and they become cold and cut off to everyone because they don't know how to discern healthy relationships from unhealthy relationships. And the Rainbow Weaver is about finding that joy and that peace. And you went through this already. So don't go back. Don't fall backwards into a distorted, feminine energy of being overly paranoid and thinking someone's doing you wrong when they're not. And, you know, seeing red flags. And you're not seeing red flags, you're seeing paranoia based off past bad unhealthy, unhealed version of yourself that had unhealed, unhealthy relationships with people who were unhealed and unhealthy. Don't fall back into that. So the relationship that you're in right now, it is healthy because you attracted a healthy person in a healthy relationship because you healed yourself. Have faith in that and trust in that. So you're good. Stop being paranoid. Okay. With the prosperity card, I'm going to pick, and that's it. That's all I have for you. I'm going to pick out a couple cards here to wrap it up and close it up. And then I'm going to close this reading out. Yeah, so you have a lot of positive energy around you. And the reason you have a lot of positive energy around you is because you did the work. So you have prosperity coming into your life, whether that is a new job, whether that is money, whether, again, that's relationships, whether it's if you're wanting a child, that could be the prosperity that's coming into your life. There's hope here for a brighter future for you. Again, as long as you don't fall back into negative, old, past paranoias, bad habits, and there's freedom here. And freedom is a card of freeing yourself of all of the negativity, negative thoughts, paranoia, and worry. So there's nothing here but good, positive energy that you're cultivating in your life that will bring real. So the positive energy, because we talk about positive energy a lot, and it's like, well, okay, I'm positive. It's like you said space in your life where you're like, okay, I'm positive. So what does that bring me in life? What's going to bring real 3D manifestations of that positivity into your life? As long as you stay in that good, healthy, clean, healed version of yourself in elevated energy, you're going to see it manifest in your life in a very real way. And that's different for different people. Whatever you consider prosperity into your life, it could be work, career, finance, work, career, the same thing, work, career, finance, love, money, familiar relationships, traveling, fulfilling lifelong dreams. Prosperity is just that, it's prosperity coming into your life, but you have to stay in that healed, elevated space and not fall back into old, past bad habits. All right, guys. So that is what I have for you. I hope that helped. I hope that shed a little bit of light on your situation and letting you know that you're in a safe space. In the relationship that you are in, you're in a safe space in the person that you have cultivated, for the new healed version of yourself that you have cultivated. So stay in that space. It's there. It's healthy. It's good. It feels good. And if it feels good, don't go backwards to things that did not feel good. All right. So that is what I have for you. Until next time. Bye-bye.